Welcome. You're listening to Nuditea, a podcast where we get naked with our feelings while drinking tea. I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Wendy, and on this podcast we talk about a lot of life things, some food, some travel, some sex talk, education. I could go on and on, but today it's childhood memories round 3!
Yeah!
But first, what tea are we drinking? Wait, no, I have to.
I don't know what tea we're drinking, please.
I made a surprise pot of tea.
Mm-hmm. It smells good, tastes good.
Did you tried it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was having an indecisive moment. I didn't see any teas that I was really feeling in my heart. So this is 80% Earl Grey and 20% beet, hibiscus, apple,
Sorry, bitch, did you just create your own tea?
I did! I did.
What a creative mind.
Out of desperation. But it's actually quite good. I like the little hint of like hibiscus and berryness in the Earl Grey.
Hibiscus, so in. It is like the most in flavor.
So in.
So many beers.
Yeah. Even when I went on that conference, they had a hibiscus beer at one of the dinners. Yeah, it was like
I'm not
a
surprised.
brewery came with all their beers, and hibiscus was one of them. It was also delicious. So, talking about childhood memories again. My favorite kind of episode, which I will continue to reiterate. So, I think we each have a short and snappy one today.
Short and snappy. We'll see.
Is yours short and snappy? I don't know. I have no idea where yours is going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think you've ever heard of this memory.
I've never heard of this memory. I haven't heard of any of the memories you've talked about.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. This is probably one of my earliest memories. Should I start?
Go.
I've basically started.
Yeah. Why stop this train? It's going.
Why stop it now? This is definitely one of my earliest memories of childhood. It was when I was still living in China. We had this apartment building, and I was going through potty training at the time. How old is that? Like
2?
3? 4?
I'm trying to think. My nephew is going through potty training right now. He's almost 3.
Okay, so around that age then, I don't know why this memory has stuck with me for so long, but here we go. So the way my parents potty trained me, I don't know if this was like an Asian method, but they had this little potty, like kids potty for me, just out in the living room. And our bathroom was like down the hall, and there was a perfectly good toilet there for me to train on. But no, I had my separate toilet that was in the living room. And the weird thing about that is my room was probably closer to the bathroom than it was to the living room. So if I wanted to go potty, I would have to, first of all, recognize in my potty training stage that I have to make it to the potty, and then have to make it to my kids' toilet in the living room. So
I'm wondering, just to pause you, is it because it's in the living room, because that's where maybe you'll be playing more and you'll be less likely, because you know how kids don't want to go to the washroom because that would take them away from like playing, because
it's disruptive. Understandable.
Kids are illogical.
It's disruptive.
And just so maybe it's like, oh, it's right there, and therefore you don't feel like you're being separated, or it's somewhere where they can watch you, and maybe your bathroom wasn't as big to like fit that second one, but you think you'd want to have the toilet where the kid's going to be going to the bathroom.
Yeah, because from my babysitting experience, when kids go through potty training, they start with, if they can't make it up onto the big people toilet, they start with a little, like the one I had, a child's potty on the floor that they could just squat down, and then once they get a little bigger, you give them a step stool. You have this other toilet seat that sits on top of the adult toilet seat that is so they won't fall into the toilet, and then they toilet train on that, and it's just much easier for them that way. I didn't have that, also because it was China, and I'm pretty sure our bathroom had one of the squat toilets. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's literally a hole in the ground with a drain, and then you squat with your legs on either side, and you pee into the little hole. And it's like, it's fine. I have qualms about that in terms of going number 2, but for another day.
You gotta have some strong legs or walls.
The Asian squat. I think that's why we're all so good at the Asian squat.
That's why I'm garbage at using those toilets. Like
no Asian squat.
No Asian squat. It's so
whatsoever. Good. Well, this took a turn. Anyway, the point that we are not talking about the Asian squat or the squat toilets today. So the memory is, and it's quite fuzzy. One day I was in my room and I really, really had to go number 2. And I started waddling out to the living room, and I had started to like pull my pants down in preparation for squatting on the kids' toilet, but I didn't make it. So I was literally maybe 2 feet away from this toilet, and I was like, I can't hold it in anymore. So I just squatted down right next to my kid's toilet, and I took a shit. And I just left my little lump of poo on the ground in the living room beside the kid's toilet. Yeah. And then afterwards, I had a lot of shame. I remember feeling a bit ashamed. I was like, well, that was not supposed to happen. That's probably not what my parents wanted me to do. So I kind of just like left it and was like, you know, if I just pretend like it's not there, no one will know. That was not the case, obviously. My parents came home and was like, there's just a turd on the ground.
What was the consistency of this turd? At least it wasn't like diarrhea.
No. It wasn't diarrhea. It was a solidly formed, like, good log. That's all I remember, though. These are very fuzzy memories, but I feel like I had to tell you about this. Yeah. Maybe this is more so me, like, sharing a secret with you and now with all of our 20 friends. But I've kept this memory deep inside my heart for so long. And I don't know what happened. I was so close, Kim. Like, I was devastated. I was so close to making it onto this stupid toilet, and I couldn't make it. And I just...
You just couldn't hold it in a little bit longer.
No. I guess because I had already gone through the... You know how sometimes when you pull down your pants, your body's like, oh, it's time to, like, go pee or go poop. That's just, like,
I guess. Reflex. I don't think I really have that.
No, but, like, if you really have to go pee, and if you're not around a toilet and you pull your pants down, your body might just let it go, because it's like pulling pants down is synonymous with we're on a toilet and we're ready to expel whatever. Right. So maybe my body was already like, oh, she's got her pants down, we're good to go, just open up the gates. But I wasn't ready. I really wasn't ready. I didn't make it.
So you don't know what your parents really did.
I don't remember. Maybe I blocked that part.
And they probably didn't really get you that in trouble.
I don't think they would.
They're like,
they were probably just like,
oh, she was so close. Good for her.
But I think that wasn't even like when I had first started to potty train though. It was probably like around halfway through. Like it wasn't. The issue wasn't that I didn't know what I was supposed to do. The issue was that I knew what I was supposed to do. I literally just couldn't make it in time.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's halfway through. Like potty training takes a while for some people.
Oh.
So. When we didn't know that was halfway through, like
yeah,
I guess 3 more years.
I guess the issue for me was like I need to figure out my body better so that I know how long I can hold these things for.
And that was day 1 of learning.
Yep.
And now you've perfected it, maybe.
Well, you know, sometimes I still hold my pee in for like hours on end, and
take advantage now because we can do that at this young age.
Yes. And it's probably not good for us to be doing that.
I think it makes my bladder stronger.
That's honestly what I think, but I don't know if there's science to back our claims up. Honestly, I feel like it might be
facts.
Bad. I feel like it might be worse for us.
Oh no, it's probably not great.
Yeah,
there's times
we need to be doing Kegel exercises. That's what'll make it stronger.
I'm like in the tractor sometimes, and I can't always get to the bathroom, and I'm all like, I'll just wait till break, and then I forget to do a break. I'm like, I've literally not gone peed for 8 hours.
Oh my goodness. I drink too much tea for that. I have to go pee like every 25 minutes.
I think that just says I don't hydrate enough.
I mean, maybe I just
really
don't. I don't think you hydrate enough, yes, but I also think I hydrate
too much.
A lot.
Can we not
just
even
a lot
even this out?
So that was my
potty training story. I don't remember anything about my potty training, so
I don't remember anything else.
No, I don't.
I just remember that time I pooped on the ground because I didn't make
it. Because of the deep shame you probably felt, and therefore we always have those negative.
But it's just like, even if you're thinking about it, like you were so close, and then you have to squat there in your shame and regret while you're pooping onto the floor. Like it's just so much.
Then you went and just slept in your bed for the rest of the day.
And then I went and I was like, that never happened.
I'm not surprised. Like, shame is a very negative emotion. We do hold on to, like, the negative memories
and as a child,
more vividly.
Yeah. And as a child, it's like, you don't know what's going on. What is this new feeling? Okay. Now I want to hear your childhood memory. Okay. My childhood memory. I'm a little older than 3.
So we grew up with less frills. Now I'm going to call them frills, I guess, yeah. We only had 2 channels because we did not have cable or satellite or any of that. Even with that, I sat in front of the TV too much. We played outside.
What were the 2 channels?
The one that showed TVO Kids. I think it's CTV.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one, I don't fully remember. It was
probably
like channel,
a news channel for
11 or... my parents didn't watch the news.
Oh,
They'd read about it probably instead. Anyway,
old school.
We didn't have a lot of these... amenities or these gadgets, technology advancements. We had a really old TV, really old. It was wood frame, curved, screen,
concave.
It was like those dials. However, we still had a control for it, so it wasn't completely in the Stone Ages. I was probably in high school till we got an updated TV, or late elementary school, but I think high school. And we were just like, I can't believe this is happening. It was a Christmas gift for all the kids. Aww. It was cute. So,
childhood memory number 1.
With that said, that means we also didn't have things like a Super Nintendo or a Nintendo 64 or even an Atari or any of that kind of stuff. And we always really enjoyed that. When we went to my mom's parents, my grandparents' house for holidays, we would play on, I think it was a Super Nintendo. I'm not an expert in any of these kind of...
Me neither. I can't help you.
Gaming systems. And we play like Ninja Turtles and all the like the Super Mario games. And I was always a little bit jealous of our other cousins because they lived close to the grandparents and they could just come over whenever they wanted to play it. And so they had always finished the games. So we got older and we really wanted a gaming system, but we really liked the Mario games that we grew up kind of playing a little bit. So we're like, we're going to buy... all of us collectively using our hard-earned money because we were quite young, I want to say.
Did you guys get an allowance or was it for chores?
We did an allowance, but at that point some of us had jobs. I don't think I had a job. So Loren, my sister Loren, she's been on here a number of times. She paid for the majority, I think, of it while the rest of us pitched in where we could. So we went to go buy this GameCube, and I think GameCubes back then cost like $160 or something.
And that's a lot.
And that's a lot of money for our
kids.
young little selves. And Lauren had a job, and like minimum wage was like $12 back then, or something.
Probably even less.
Yeah. And the problem was though, it only comes with one controller, and we wanted to buy a game for it. We wanted Mario Kart Double Dash, the best Mario Kart to this day. People. Just want to get that out there.
Kim is very adamant on this point.
So adamant. So what was our choice was either get 2 controllers and not the game, or just 1 controller and the game. We went with 1 controller in the game, obviously. So we do this, and we set it all up. And the fun part of Mario Kart is racing against your siblings or the people you've invited over. What we ended up doing to kind of make it feel like we were racing against each other, Mario Kart has these like time trial games on it, so you can just kind of race yourself.
Oh, okay.
You just get like, you want to have the best lap against yourself. So you'll do one, and then when you do it again, there will be a ghost.
Of self. Your past self. Ghost of Mario past.
So what we did... when we first got this, we figured out, you can do this. We'd obviously like play against the computers and stuff like that, but we learned about time trials, and this is how we'd race against each other. One person would do a lap, and then another person. So we actually got really, really good at kind of figuring out like the fastest routes, and I think that's how we found a lot of the shortcuts to it. Some people who have played Double Dash like don't know all the shortcuts. I think we found all of them, and it was just we'd just sit around this TV and we would just like. One at a time, racing against each other. It was...
You poor, sweet, innocent lamb souls.
I know. It's...
Aww.
eventually, because I think controllers were $60. Mm-hmm. Another one would be $60.
Eventually,
and we eventually got 4 controllers. We got there eventually. We got older and all that stuff. So.
I wonder, did your parents ever say anything about you guys buying this game?
Though they said that if we wanted one, we'd have to buy it.
You'd have to pay for it.
They were never going to buy us like a gaming system.
Oh.
And so we were like, we want to do this. And so.
Man, I feel like that's a good way to go. Good on your parents. Because I feel like kids these days get them just for like Christmas or on their birthdays. But I feel like having to pay for it, that's like when you really cherish it.
Yeah. And while the GameCube, in hindsight, is not the best gaming system out there, I still have such a soft spot for it in my heart because, yeah, it doesn't have all the Mario games. My thing is, I am so bad at any kind of first-person shooter games on the Xbox or PlayStation Live, third-person shooter games too, because they have to do like double joystick stuff. And there was 2 joysticks on a GameCube controller, but you rarely use the yellow C toggle. So I'm slow at moving my viewpoint like and the gun.
One stick, the other one.
My younger brother has been able to master any gaming system, any game he comes by. He's very good at it. My younger brother is also, he's the best at all the games, the Mario games growing up. He was always the one to beat. I'm probably like the second best. My older brother's convinced he used to be the best. But he's delusional. Never. It's never been a thing. So it's always, I feel bad for my younger brother because sometimes we gang up on him in order just to beat him.
He needs to learn his place.
Yeah. You are the baby of the family. You come last. With that, we also like to play the Mario Party games. And I think we had Mario Party 5 and Mario Party 7. But we played Mario Party 5 because they have the better mini games than Mario Party 7. And of course we loved this game because it's basically just a board game on digital form. And once again, my younger brother usually wins because you get bonus stars and all that stuff at the end. It's about who won the most mini games, and he was always doing that. But one time we're like, you know what, guys? We're gonna do a 50 round game, and those things take like hours to play. This is not a quick game, but you know, we're 4 of us are just sitting there. We're like, let's do this. And I actually think this is Mario Party 7 because with Mario Party 7, there's also a mic component to it, so you can have like mic games. And there's this one where if you land on the spot, up comes this memory game. So you go to Toadsworth, the old Toad dude, and they'll show you like the pattern of it'll be like grape, banana, orange, apple. They're all different cards, and they flip them back over. Yeah. And you just have to speak into the mic and tell them which is which. Okay. We were too competitive, so whenever we would go do that, because it's so easy to like double your coins. Yeah. We would be in the background yelling grape like at the wrong point and just screaming at the top of our lungs to really mess with it, and the person would be like trying protecting the mic. So you wouldn't always bet all your coins because you would lose them. So we're very competitive. Man, that's ridiculous. We're so competitive. So we finished this 50 round turn.
How long did it take you?
Oh, I don't even remember. Probably like
an entire day.
Like at least 4 hours on and off. We'd obviously break and we went to do lunch and stuff like that. We finished this 50 round game, but we have to go to the final stage, which is where the person will be crowned, and then we'll get the bonus stars. So we're doing this, but for some reason we're just being dumb, and we're like unplugging each other's controllers. Oh my goodness. And like trying to stop them. This actually might have been during the final mini game you could play. So you're trying to like stop everyone, you're trying to put it back in, and we've done all of this. Somebody accidentally hits the power button on it. And it's just, we thought it was all lost. And we're like, no! And we're like, those hours just wasted. And so, yeah, we're too competitive, honestly. It's ridiculous. It turns out, though, it did save it. It saved? It did save it. But we didn't know that for a while. We're just like, what is wrong with us?
Who pressed the power button?
It was a mess. So, a lot of fun times on that GameCube with, like, different games. I wanted to tell about how we had one controller and we made it work with the 5 of us.
Why did your grandparents have one at their house? Because like it's not I'm assuming because the grandchildren liked it.
I think it was because of the grandchildren.
But it's strange that they went out of their way to get one for their house.
I can't tell you if it was new or used or what came about the grandparents thinking, hey, let's do this. Let's get this. This will be fun for the kids. But it could have just been like one holiday. They're like, how do we entertain all these kids? If we want to be talking with
the other adults.
Which I understand that now.
Yes, we really
And
do.
they were just like, let's get this gaming system. And then they had some decent games. I honestly have no idea where that came about.
Yeah, it's strange to me because, like, it's not like they had kids constantly at their house that they would have this system.
Well, so my mom only has 2 siblings. I say only, like, that's a lot, but my father had more. And so they both lived very close. Well, we lived far. It was, like, maybe 20 minutes. But it felt like so long, like such a long car ride when you're a child.
That is a long
like, let's get our pillows out in case we need to fall asleep. Going to my grandparents that were 20 minutes away. So they were just around. So I wonder if, like, they were just by a lot. And they're like, let's get this.
That makes sense.
And I just heard that it was a fun time.
I never grew up playing any type of video games whatsoever. So now I am the most incompetent at playing any sort of video game. I suck so hard. So I generally just try to avoid it. Because I have another shame story. It was not when I was younger. It was high school. But I was at this badminton camp and everyone was playing Mario Kart. And it was just like a simple racing game. It was on the Wii, which is even like less out of my range because you had to drive with the little stick controllers. And I just did not know how to do that. And I was trying, everyone wanted to include me because I had stayed out of like the first 15 rounds. So like, oh, when did you? And then I was trying to race, and I realized at one point that every single other person had finished the race already, and I was still, like, struggling to make it through. I was maybe, like, not even halfway. And I just I couldn't figure it out.
I thought when you were last, they just, like, the game stopped and they just took over.
Well, it didn't.
Okay.
It did not. Like, everyone literally just, like, sat there quietly while I was, like, trying to, like, work out how to use the Wii steering wheel because I kept bumping into, like, the sides and, like, I just could not figure it out, and it was very depressing. I think that's a bit of a sore spot for me, that I never played board games or video games as a child, and you've gotten me way more into board games now than I have ever been before, but video games are still, like, very taboo in my heart. I'm like, I will never pick up a controller ever again in my life after that shameful period of Mario Kart racing. It's over. It's over for me.
With video games, it's such a learning curve sometimes. When you start young, you pick up things pretty easy. Like, I can still pick up games pretty easy. Like, I will never be very good at first-person shooter games.
Like, I don't even know how to use the normal controllers. I have no clue.
The thing with the Wii controllers, I never could get really behind the Wii controllers. I just want... Like, I get it, like, you're being active and all that stuff, but I want the whole thing in one go.
I did enjoy, like, Wii Sports, like playing tennis or like
bowling.
Those are always fun. And I guess the only other digital type thing that I did when I was younger was Guitar Hero. I was a big fan of Guitar Hero as well.
Rhythm gaming.
Interesting. You had a very different childhood. All these siblings, all this family around, video games. What is all this?
Video games only because we bought the gaming system.
And I'm very impressed that you guys did that. That's a huge chunk of money when you're that young. Although there were 6 of you, I guess, so...
Only 5 of us. The oldest sister.
The older sister gone?
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
I think that's a very good way for parents to get kids on the path of financial responsibility, because
give them
instead
a small allowance?
Small allowance, and then not buying big things for them for random special
that
occasions.
Aren't, like, essentials.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to learn that, you could take this $2 to the grocery store or whatever and get a Mars bar or something, or if you save it up, then you'll end up with a GameCube. Yeah, I think that's a very hard lesson for kids to learn, but one that they should learn earlier on.
And also, like, my older siblings worked at least above 13. They were working in the farm and gaining money that way too. So we're all just kind of learning here and there how to make money, how to save it.
That's all for this episode of Childhood Memories. Do you want to close out?
Thank you for listening to this episode. You can find us on...
Forgot everything.
Podbean.
You can't find us anywhere.
You can find us at podbean.com or Apple Podcasts, also Podcast Addict, maybe other places. I'm not sure.
Who knows? Google. I don't know. You take care of the audio stuff, so I actually have no
clearly
clue.
Don't very well. You can find us by searching Nuditea Podcast. You can also find our video podcast on YouTube by the same name. Mm-hmm. And then we also have an Instagram at Nuditea Podcast as well. I try to post frequently, but yeah. Frequently in the sense that, like, when a new episode comes out. So that's how I kind of warn you.
I think that's fair.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I have other things I'm doing.
So many other things.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.